checkered flag. He wins.
Back victories for Sam Bachman as he takes the win at the Port Royal Speedway.
Wins another one at the Knoxville Raceway. Blake Chapman wins.
A corner down here through the front straightaway. Watson gets the win here tonight.
Chad Greggs, a Knoxville Nationals champion. But to the checkered flag, Clay Christopherson, your winner at Lernerville. Here they come off of turn number 4. To the checkers, Templeton takes the win.
Through the back stretch into corners 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win.
The 56 wins. First time winner Randy Streets.
But your winner at Weed Sports is going to be Brandon Templeton in the Salty Dog.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
All right, good evening there, everyone, and welcome here to Eldora Speedway tonight as we get ready for Thursday Night Thunder here with the 388 and Big Blocks brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports, followed up by the Pro Late Models from Regal Wraps and Designs. Can't wait to see exactly how these drivers really play it out here. We got them all hanging out here so far. Gotta get a couple things cleared away here. And you can see him here working off the corner. Practice still going on here for a couple moments. And we get ready here for tonight. Hopefully everybody's ready for an exciting night of racing. We get everything situated here tonight. Okay, here we go. Let's see now what we got going on here. We can get it all to come up. Nothing coming up as of yet.
Do we have a album for tonight?
Sorry about that. I thought I had all this turned down, but apparently I didn't. Here we go. All right, here we go. Now we're all set. Get things situated finally on this end of things. And we're getting ready to rock and roll tonight from the Coast to Coast Racing Network here on YouTube, along with Finger Farm TV. Now we gotta get this all situated here. Hopefully we can get the ticker and everything up just fine. We'll see about that here in one quick moment, though. No, not up there yet, but we're going to try here. One more time. Let's see if it connects. There it goes. All right, there we go. All good now. Ready to rock and roll here whenever the admins deem it's time to go. Hopefully everybody's ready, as we said, for a great night of racing ahead of us. Got 7 viewers over at Coast to Coast Racing Network. Thank you all for tuning in. As we don't have anybody over at Fleeger Forum TV yet, but that's okay. We're mainly here for Coast to Coast Racing Network as we roll through the corner here. As we're waiting on practice to end here for us to get rocking and rolling with tonight's race. Ryland Banks out there in as the 7th fastest right now. He worked down in the corner number 1 and 2. McLaren there in 5th fastest. As we look there onward at Ryland Banks in at number 76. Now we wait them on down here in the corner number 3 and 4. We said McLaren's out on track as well as Brewer. Check it up there in the back. And we're getting through turn 3 and 4. Brewer down there on the bottom side. McLaren up there on the top. Clump now out back all on track and at number 35. Great looking machine there tonight. Sporting that breast cancer awareness for October. Greatly done and nicely done that machine there for that number 35. And watch him roll off a 2 down that back straightaway in the corner number 3 and 4. They're out there in car number 35. Banks out there in that 76. McLaren out there in the 88. And Brewer out there in the 390. Everything's good to go on this end. I'm waiting to see if everything's to go on the racetrack end. Normally I'd be in qualifying by now. All right, here we go. Ready to rock and roll tonight. Off of the speedway goes Mike Brewer as he's sitting down there on Joe Halter's out there. Down through the backstretch. Mike Wheeler there in 12th. His 12th fastest, rather. Working on down through turn 1 and 2. You got the 66 there of Mike Wheeler. Working on through the back stretch there with Mike Guida. You got Ryland Banks out there. Mike Brewer out there as well, trying to get that top side worked in there. In that number 390. Off there through corner number 1 and 2. Ryland Banks coming back out there. Harold Klump down there on the bottom side coming back out again. I think, Bart, we're getting Isaac Salas as an admin here once we get everything situated. I see Patrick Spangler's in there, hopefully getting things situated. So we will, that's what we're waiting on right now, is to get an admin involved in the race sessions. So hopefully everything will work out. We get watching here as Harold Klump watch him roll down here in the corner number 1 and 2. And work up off. Here they go down the back straight away. Harold Klump, Joe Halter out there for Hammerdown Racing in that number 22. Mike Guida here in that number 066. Looks like they got the privileges all worked out. We're getting ready for qualifying here with the 358. It's brought to you by FTM, the Full Throttle Motorsports. As you got him rolling down the backstretch here in the corner, number 3 and 4, goes Mike Guida as qualifying gets underway. Now you see there, Ryland Banks working down the backstretch as well. Joseph Grandy out there. Currently the fastest on track with a 16.433. Jeff Sharp with a 16.493. Brewer laying down a heater out there now with a 16.409. Working down through the backstretch. Vitelli now with a 16.365. They're watching the 28 there. Joe Marcel working through. He'll jump himself up here into about 12th right now with a 16.543. Randy out there. And 4th with a 16.433 as he did not improve in the second lap. There he's in a Full Throttle Motorsports number 007 for Sam Bachman, rolling down the backstretch into corner number 3 and 4. Bachman's got a 16.706 right now. There you see that 88 there. Dan McLaren, he's out there, got a 16.670 right now. Bachman's got a 16.472. Waiting on Chad Lackey to make a run here in qualifying. And qualifying has now been ended. On to heat number 1 here tonight for the Full Throttle Motorsports Modifieds. We got Sam Bachman out there in front, Mike Guida there in second. William Watson there for 3rd. Michael Vitelli in 4th. Jeff Sharp will be rolling off here in 5th. Billy Roberts in 6th. Joe Marcel in 7th. Clay Christopherson 8th. Barry Wallace will be rolling off 9th tonight with Patrick Spangler there in 10th. All right, here we go. Get everything situated, ready to rock and roll tonight as they work on down through here. Everything here, we got 8 laps the distance for these drivers in the 358 Modifieds. Working there off the corner here. One more lap to green. And they bring it off turn number 2. Racing now underway here, Coast to Coast Racing Network. Heat number 1 here for the FTM Full Throttle Motorsports 358 as they rock and roll down here out of the bottom. There we go, off the corner. Out in the corner, number 1 and 2 goes Bachman out there on the bottom side, working that invert tonight. And he works down here in the corner, number 3 and 4. Got the 23 there, Wayne Watson down there on the bottom side. Then way below him is the number 213. Or I'm sorry, no, that's what should be. Or no, 213 of Michael Vitale up there on the top side. The 099 there of Roberts. Down there on the inside. Or no, that's the 66. So Roberts in the 66 machine. 51 of Clay Christoph and Jeff Sharp. He's the one out there in the number 28. Wallace has crashed back here towards the back. And roll down there out of the corner. Roberts there in 5th right now. Working to try to stay up there, but is now back to 6th. As Christopherson gets a run there on the outside. Here through turn 3 and 4. Hey, driver, make it look easy here with 4 laps to go here in heat number 1. The 66, Mike Weida out front. Sam Bachman there second. Barry Wallace now having issues once again now in the pits. He's pulled it off. Down here through off of 4. Down the front straightaway. 4, Weida. Bachman there second. Watson there third. Vitale there fourth. Clay Christopherson there 5th. Billy Roberts 6th. With Jeff Sharp down there in 7th. Joe Moncel in 8th. With Mike Weida up there coming across the top side. That working down through off turn number 1. Now 2 laps to go here in heat number 1. William Watson in 3rd. Michael Vitale 4th. Clay Christopherson sitting 5th. Those are your top 5. As they roll here out of 4, you're looking there at Bachman. Tries to get back up there to battle with Weida. Weida hanging on to it as he works out of turn number 2. Final time for heat number 1 down that backstretch in the corner number 3. Through corner 4 now coming off. He's going to be your winner here possibly. And yes, Weida will be your winner here in heat number 1. As they roll down here for the cool down lap. Sam Bachman getting 2nd. Watson getting 3rd. Your official results are coming in here very shortly. Here we go. Your official results. Mike Weida taking the win here in heat number 1. Sam Bachman there 2nd. William Watson in 3rd. Michael Vitale 4th. Clay Christopherson takes away home 5th. Jeff Sharp in 6th. Billy Roberts 7th. Joe Marcel there in 8th. Barry Wallace 9th. Patrick Spangler in 10th. All right, on to heat number 2. This is your starting grid for the 358 Modifieds. Ryland Banks rolls off in 1st. Joe Halter 2nd. Joseph Grandy there in 3rd. Mike Brewer 4th. Isaac Salad rolls off there in 5th. Randall Dixon 6th. And we head on down here. In the corner number 4. Randall Dixon 6th. Harold Clupp there 7th. Dan McLaren at 8th. Gary Sigelkow there in 9th. Jad Lackey rolls off in 10th. Shedlacki did not take the grid here tonight. Off the backstretch, who's it going to be here for heat number 2? Here down Racing Zone number 22, Joe Halter starting on the outside. And working there off the corner number 4. Pace car then. Flag is out. They're down and away. In the corner number 1, they'll scream as they come down here. Heading towards 2. The 5 there of Isaac Salas down there on the bottom. The 518 there of Joseph Grundy up there in the middle, right underneath Joe Halter and Mike Brewer, as the three of them battle it out down through the front stretch. 3 wide, as we're now 2 wide for the lead. Here comes that 518 of Grandy down there on the inside. The 22, Joe Halter, has fallen back. Now here, as you see that bottom side taken away, and we see the 5 of Isaac Salas getting up there towards the front. Oh no, problem for Isaac Salas. He blinked out there a moment. Now getting back underway. The 518 there of Grandy coming down the backstretch. Looking to the inside there of Grandy. Can't go, or Grandy getting to there. Slides up through in front of the 76 of Ronald Banks. And now Banks down there on the inside. Grandy up there on the outside trying to dig it in as they work down the backstretch. Now you look there at Brewer, who's sitting there in 4th. Down there through turn 3 and 4. Out here onto the front stretch. In the corner number 1 and 2. Down through off of 3. Or off into 3. Grandy up into the outside wall now as Brewer gets down underneath him. Going to try to split him there with the 22 of Halter down there on the bottom. Or I'm sorry, no, that's the 76 of Ronald Banks down there on the bottom. You got the 5, Isaac Salas out there for Venom Racing, leading the way right now. Sorry, I didn't have this up there. 3 to go in heat number 2 as they roll here out of 4. Down across the front straightaway. Great racing here in heat number 2. As they Brewer now back down there to the inside, getting underneath Grandy as they work down there off the back stretch in the corner number 3. Grandy working there right behind Salas, trying to see if he can get the win. Not yet as they work here off of 4 down through here. Final time for heat number 2 as they got Salas up into the outside wall. Just a little bit of sparks fly coming there through 1 and 2, now through 3 and 4. Down there on the bottom side, Single Cow having problems, along with Randall Dixon and Harold Cluck back here towards the back. There you see them all sliding back there towards the finish line. Official results soon to be here shortly. Salas, your Heat 2 winner. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching Coast to Coast Racing Network tonight. Here is your Heat 2 results. Isaac Salas getting the win. Joseph Grandy there in 2nd. Hey, now that wasn't nice. Mike Brewer there 3rd. Ronald Banks 4th. Dan McLaren will finish 5th with Joe Halter there 6th. Harold Clupp in 7th. Gary Single Cow there in 8th. Randall Dixon and Chad Lackey did not finish the race. Warm-up's underway. We'll be back after these short messages.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and led to a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we are back at Eldora for the 358 main show. Starting grid brought to you by RSN Trackside. We see Mike Weeda there in got the pole with Isaac Salas start outside row number 2. Outside row number 1 in second position. Row number 2, that'll go there to Sam Bachman with Joseph Grandy there in 4th. William Watson will roll off in 5th, and Mike Brewer there 6th. Michael Vitale rolls off in 7th tonight with Ryland Banks starting there in 8th. 9th place, that's going to start the 051 of Clay Christopherson with Dan McLaren in the 88 starting in 10th. Jeff Sharp, driving number 16, will start in 11th tonight. Joe Halter there in 12th. 13th tonight, that's going to go there to Billy Roberts with 14th going to Harold Klump right now to start everything tonight. 15th, Joe Mossell. 16th, Gary Singlecow. Starting 17th in car number 210 will be Barry Wallace with Randall Dixon starting car number 011 there in 18th. Chad Lackey rolls off tonight starting 20th, and Patrick Spangler rolls off tonight starting 19th. But those 2 drivers not taking the grid, so 18 drivers out on track to be your main feature here tonight as they get rolling here off the start for the Thursday Night Thunder. 358s from the Full Throttle Motorsports. And they bring it on down here, bringing it off the corner. They go. Out of the corner they go. Down here through 3 and 4. Up there to the top side goes Grandy. Look at them all. 3, maybe 4 wide throughout the pack there. As they all situate down in, and look at them all. Oh, hang on to it. And we got one picked up. Oh, 4 wide there. Whoa, man. What a mess it is right now as drivers try to squeeze in areas that might not have enough room for them. I just see them all out there. Isaac Salas out front as they all storm down through here off the corner. Man, oh man, what a night of racing so far. Hey, drivers putting everything they can on the line here tonight. Hey, watch him come there off the corner. Isaac Salas out front as your leader. Sam Bachman there in second. Joseph Grandi there third. Mike Weeda there in fourth. Clay Christopherson in fifth with William Watson sixth. Now you watch them all they're really starting to single pilot out here, get into the groove now as they work down here. 25 laps to go in your feature event for the 358s. As they work here off the corner, up there to the top side goes Watson in that number 23. Down the front straightaway. And work down up here, down through the corner. Where's my there it is. Okay. Mike Weeda up there trying to work on the top side. Bob Clay Christopherson, but can't quite get there as of yet. Christopherson down there on the inside, still hanging strong. Grandy out there in third. Sam Bachman second. Chasing down Isaac Salas, who's up there right against the wall where he's been all night long, it seems, around here at Eldora. Up there at the wall seems to be the fastest way around the speedway here in the 358. Joseph Grandi there in third. Mike Wheeler still battling there with Clay Christopherson. As Christopherson down there on the inside. Up there off the straightaway they go. As Wheeler's up there on the outside. Christopherson there in fifth. Watson there in sixth. That's Brewer back here. Getting my battle going on with Banks as Banks gropes him a slider up there to the top side. Look out, here comes Brewer back down there to the inside. Hey, drivers try to get everything working there as Single Cow's down there on pit road. Something happened to him as he ended up going into the pits. Working there off of turn number 3 and 4. Joseph Grundy out there in third. Clay Christopherson there fourth. Watson there fifth. Mike Wheeler in sixth. And work out here through off the corner. There you go. Yeah, they work off. Sorry about that. Did not mean to keep that up there extended long. Alex Salas there out front. Sam Buckman. And we got yellow flag. Billy Roberts having issues back here in his around. Up there in the corner number 1. Oh, down here through the front, or through the back straightaway. You're watching that 66 up there rather than 99 on the scoreboard. And they end up just tight, and he ends up sideways, ends up into the outside wall, and that'll send him around. He gets up there, keeps up there, and a great job there. Now he can get it safely turned back around and facing the right direction. And he'll come in and get a little bit of work done. Seagull Cow not on the race. He is now out. Hey, drivers really try to put on a show here. We got 16 laps to go yet. And we're off the corner down here. Great job so far. Alright, down through the front straightaway they go. Back in the corner number 1. There's E. Bachman in second. Grandy there in third. And work off through, down here through off of 3. In the 4, down through the front stretch. With Salas as your leader. There goes Christopherson. He's going to try to find something down there on the bottom side. Not sure if he's going to, though, as they work down through the backstretch. Watson up there at the top side. He's trying to hang on to fourth above Christopherson. Vitelli now going around back here at the back. Take a look at Vitelli here. He's up there. Or, I'm sorry, down there on the bottom side. Looks like they just end up coming together down there on the... Oh! That is not the ride you want to take. He found that gap in the wall, and he went for a ride there, folks. And take another look at this. I mean, here comes the 28, getting a little bit of a nudge, comes down. They get into their 213 there of Vitelli. Vitelli comes down. He finds that entrance. And, oh, man, rips the tire off and actually reappears. And, oh, man, what a ride there for Michael Vitelli. And we're going to be going back green flag racing next time by. Lights are out on the pace car. Grindy there in third, Bachman second, Salas out there in front. 15 laps to go. Siegel Cow now out, as we said, for Venom Racing. Venom Racing's own Isaac Salas out front, leading the way right now. And you see a couple of them trying to get a jump on the start. Salas out there to the lead as they roll down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Here comes Christopherson down there on the inside, making a great run, gets up there into third, as now they roll through turn 3 and 4. Here comes Bachman up there on the outside, Salas down there through the middle of the racetrack now. In the corner number 1 and 2, Salas up there to the outside, Christopherson down there on the low side, going to see if he can hang on. Can't quite hang on enough, though, as Bachman gets around. Here comes Grandy as he goes to get around, does so. As there you see, Christopherson still trying to hang down there on the bottom, getting up there into third, trying to hang on in front of Grandy, working her out of turn number 3 and 4, back around there onto the front stretch. Oh, these drivers head on out here. A great job so far by these drivers and their teams, getting them up here to where they can finish nicely. In the corner number 3 and 4 they go. Out, Salas out there in front. Bachman there in second. Bachman now makes a sling for it. He does. Salas now comes back down there on the bottom side. 9 laps to go. Salas down there to the inside. Bachman up there to the outside. Bachman there going to try to get a run off at corner number 4 as Salas brings it up there on the top side. Now Bachman brings it down on the bottom. Here comes the crossover from Salas. Salas now gets underneath. Bachman coming down there into corner number 3 and 4. And through 4 they go. Bachman up there on the top side. Salas trying to hold him off. Down there to the inside with the crossover goes Bachman. Salas up there on the top side. Crossover. Down the backstretch. As Salas will bring it down and slide up there in front of Bachman. Here comes Grandy. Grandy's now going to want a piece of this. He tries to get underneath of Bachman. Bachman can't quite get the crossover he was hoping for. As Grandy is there. Now he's there. Grandy ends up making a run. Bachman up there to the top side. Salas slides it on in. He's going to run a short slider line up there to the top side. Now here he comes down into corner number 1. Bachman in second gets a little nudge there from the 007 from Bachman. Salas is still out front. Here comes Bachman. He wants to try to get a slide job coming here through turn 3 and 4. Doesn't quite get it slid up there. He's going to be stuck down there on the bottom. Can he make something happen here? He gains speed here through 1 and 2. Down that back straightaway for Bachman. Salas trying to hang on to it. Wallace now out as he has towed it back to the pits. Problems for that machine. As they work there down the front straightaway. Bachman there in second. And we see there's 22, Joe Halter, Jeff Sharp. 3 to go. Randall Dixon in that 11 getting passed along there by Jeff Sharp. And they see the 22 there, Joe Halter. Joe Halter's had some issues here at some points throughout the night. As you watch him come down here through off of turn number 2, down through the backstretch. The 007 down there to the inside now. Looking to see if he can get up there and battle with Salas. Final lap. White flag in the air for Isaac Salas and that number 5 with Bachman trying to chase him down. Grandy there in third. They on down through the backstretch. Bachman there bouncing all over the place. Here comes Grandy there looking up. Bachman's going to hang on to the bottom side. And it's going to be finishing just like that. Salas, Bachman, and Grandy. They're 1, 2, 3 tonight. All right, down here, off of turn number 4, comes your winner, Isaac Salas. And we got Bachman coming there as well, finishing second. Grandy there in third. All right, now let's get with your winners here. Joseph Grundy, your third place finisher in the 358 modifieds here tonight. Good evening here, Grandy. How's it going?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How'd that Eldora track feel tonight?
Yeah, I hope it was as fun for you as it was for me to watch.
It was definitely a fun one to watch. I mean, you guys were up there tight against that outside wall.
Yeah, thought I had something for those guys. Just didn't work out. All three of us were pretty damn even. It was a real fun race.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch for sure. And the 518 there didn't seem to give you too much issues. I mean, you seem to have that car pretty hooked up tonight.
Yeah, it felt good. I had little issues with my graphics. They were skipping a little, making it seem like I was going slow. But, held on there, held on to third. Got nervous a couple times during the race. I was going to lose third, but then I got pretty comfortable and held in there.
I know it was a tough fight up there with the top 5. I mean, there's times there was all 5 of you right there against one another.
Yeah, it's a fine line up there. I just made a mistake on the wall. You took both of us out, or vice versa. So good race by everybody, and hopefully we can do it again.
All righty, well, you got sponsors. Shout out to anybody you want to thank for getting the third place here in the 358s.
Absolutely. Catalytic Recovery, all the guys over at RMDB, Raise the Bar, Hinkle Homes, Mad Rabbit, Highlight Cinematography, my girlfriend Olivia, everybody at Coast to Coast, and appreciate you for doing the broadcast.
All righty, well, great job there tonight, and we'll see you. Are you bringing out a big block next?
I won't be in the big block, but I should be in the Pro 8 models.
All righty, well, good luck when we see you again.
Thank you.
Joseph Grundy now we'll get with second place finisher Sam Bachman. Good evening here, Sam. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Can't complain with the podium, so pretty good.
Well, you did a great job. I know you battled very hard there with Salas. Just unfortunate, couldn't quite get the last crossover you needed.
Yeah, I was just kind of hoping one of those laps he would have gave me the bottom in 3 and 4, so I could have slid him, get a little better momentum coming out of that corner. But he was running down there and taking my line away. I wish he would have gave it to me. I would have got him, obviously. But it was a good race overall. I mean, you can't complain with that. Him and I throwing sliders on each other clean. So, I mean, you can't really complain.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. The top 3, clear back to top 5 at some points were just all right there with one another.
Yeah, it was pretty tight racing. Seemed like kind of one lane, but you could make some stuff work a little different or whatever, so it wasn't bad. But yeah, definitely close.
All right, well, you got sponsor shots. Anybody you want to thank for getting second place here in the 358s?
Yeah, little boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard on the dig. Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Shaggy TV, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, and obviously Isaac, and for racing me clean and coast to coast.
Alrighty, well, congrats once again, and we gonna see you out there in a big block.
I'll be there.
Alrighty, well, good luck there, Sam.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was Sam Bachman, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with our winner, Isaac Salas. Good evening there, Isaac. How's it going?
Good. How are you, sir?
It's going well. How do you think that track felt tonight there in that number 5?
It wasn't so bad, man. It was pretty multi-groove. You know, I didn't dare really run the bottom in 1 and 2, I guess, but you know, definitely momentum in 1 and 2. I feel like really helped out. 3 and 4 was. I felt like it was everywhere.
Well, I know, I'm pretty sure you brought the big block with you as well to run here at Eldora. Do you expect much in track change to between these and the big blocks?
Probably not too much, really. I mean, just with the added horsepower, I mean, you're gonna definitely want the momentum that you can get running that high side, and I think it's gonna be a race to get up to the top and make sure you make no mistakes. It'll be interesting.
Alrighty, well, I know they're coming to the end of the 358. You and Bachman were definitely battling side by side, definitely throwing clean sliders on one another. Kind of take us through your thoughts while all that was taking place.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just in 1 and 2, he'd throw a slider, and I'd have enough kind of momentum built up already through the entry and middle part of that corner to cross him back over and, you know, drag race down to the 3 and 4, and I'd been kind of experimenting with like a deep slider where you enter in right on the wall on the bottom and basically just let it float all the way up to the outside wall and hope that, you know, the amount of distance that you cut off would hold them off for, you know, just enough. And it kind of was just a nice little cat and mouse game of who would make a mistake on their slider or who would make a mistake up on the wall. It made it a lot of fun.
It definitely did. Yeah, I thought you were running the slider into the corner. And that kind of played twofold there because that allowed you to kind of cut that bottom lane off temporarily from Bachman as well.
Yeah, and him and I talked about it, and I think that slider line 3 and 4 really was the key to kind of winning this thing. And, you know, if he would have been able to get me one time, I know I got a lucky caution there one time where he was getting ready to slide me in 3 and 4, and the caution came out. And, you know, once he kind of showed me that, it was like, okay, yeah, my thought process with that was right on the money, and you know, try to commit to it as much as I could. And if I knew that I needed the momentum, I ran top in 3 and 4 as well. So it was fun. It was a good cat and mouse game where you guys kind of both know the way each other drives, and it makes it a really fun like chess match.
Oh, it definitely did. And we can't wait to see what you got coming up in the big blocks. You got sponsor shout-outs, anybody you want to thank?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, Venom Racing, it's fun to see all the boys over at Super Dirt Week right now. It looks like they're all having a pretty good time together. You know, Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, even at Super Dirt Week as well. Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs, Arson Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Truck with my Gramps. I'm missing a few. Shaggy TV, Green Sea Home Inspections, Miss Kelser out in the living room, Mom, Dad, Gramps for watching. Thank you for the broadcast, and thanks Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race. And yeah, I think that's everybody, buddy.
Alrighty, well, good luck in the big blocks coming up. Can't wait to see if you can carry this momentum into that.
Awesome, I appreciate it.
All right, that was Isaac Salas, our winner here in the 358s. Now we'll be heading off into the big blocks 358 showdown. I don't imagine anybody's going to bring out a 358 just because of how big Eldora is. They're going to want that extra horsepower to get around the racetrack to stay with the competition. So I'm pretty well going to bet money that everybody will be in a big block coming up here after the break. Stay tuned. More racing yet to come.
it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get...
Right when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we are back at Eldora with the big blocks now. Hopefully everybody's ready to watch the race here, as we got lots of action yet to come together. We're here with the, as we said, the big block modifiers from Full Throttle Motorsports. Hey, watch the ball head out through off the back stretch. Drivers really putting on. There he's on board there with a couple of them. Hey, they had 390 Mike Brewer out there, currently running second with a 15.558. Watson out there with a 15.549. Salas with a 15.683. Currently, right now, as they all come through here, getting ready for the start of this one. There's Christopherson there in the 051. And Sam Bachman have not And I repeat, not made their way on to the track yet for any type of practice. Sorry about that. Should have had that on as well. We're getting ready, as we said, to rock and roll here from Eldora once again with the FTM Big Blocks. He's 88 there, Dan McLaren coming out on track now. Mike Vitale out on track with that number 213. Dan McLaren out there in that number 4, in that fourth fastest right now in that number 88 with a 15.616. There's Vitale in that 213 running up 15.758. Glad to see he's okay after that wild ride he took in the 358s. That machine's going to have to get some work done to it, I'm sure. After that, we see the 213 there in the big block now. So we're set and ready to rock and roll here on the broadcast side of things. Waiting to see on an admin to see if they have an admin for this race. I ran into that issue last race. As practice still wraps up here. The one thing that might be interesting is with the big blocks is they might be able to run that bottom side a little bit more because of the extra power they have. Trying to see here about the standings. We have the big blocks here. Looking at the standings of it. We got William Watson with the points lead with 211 in points. Sam Bachman with 201. Trevor Garou with 186 points. Dean Reynolds with 178. And Billy Robertson fifth with 162. And I'm sorry I didn't go over that in the 358. Trevor Garou leads those points with 230. Dean Reynolds in second with 187. William Watson with 183. Mike Brewer with 171. And Jeffrey Barker with 157. Those are your top five in the 358s. So, got a great run here so far. Now, as I said, just waiting on the admin to figure out, or them to figure out an admin for the race, I guess. We're getting set and ready to rock and roll again. Nobody's on track. Everybody's sitting in the pits. I think we're just waiting on the green flag to move ahead. There it goes. Yeah, we got them moving now here for qualifying. The 011 out there, Randall Dixon. Second out on track. There you see the 35 Harold Clump coming there off of corner 4 down here through 1 and 2. He tries to bite off them corners. Trying to figure out which line he needs to run. There you see that 011 again. Randall Dixon as they come there alpha turn number 4. McLaren with a 15.937. Sharp and Watson now with a 15.726. Billy Roberts lays down a 15.720. And we're down here through turn 3 and 4 once again for Randall Dixon, who's currently sitting for it with a 15.919. Comes across, and he will not increase his time. Watson, there you see him on the bottom side. You got a 15.726. Isaac Salas with a 15.624. Gets the pole position as it stands right now. Brewer there with a 15.688. Moves himself up there in the second spot. Christopherson and Bachman still have yet to qualify. All right, qualifying has ended. Bachman with a 15.995 there at the ending of qualifying. Now we're here in the heat number 1. Jeff Sharp will be your pole sitter here as they invert the top 4. Michael Vitale there in second. Billy Roberts third. Isaac Salas fourth. Sam Bachman there fifth. Those are your top 5. As Patrick Spangler will not be racing here. He just jumped in to help out. Well, it looks like Sam Bachman has not taken a grid either. We'll see here if he does. Now, looks like we only got 4. There comes Sam onto the field. Yeah, we got them all set and ready to rock and roll here tonight at Eldora for the big blocks. And work down here off turn number 1 into 2. Lights are off. We're going to be going green flag racing next time. Heading out here into corner number 3 and 4. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show so far tonight. As here we go. 7 laps here for heat number 1. There you see, pace car rolls off. Here we go. Green flags in the air. They're down and away. 5 drivers down into corner number 1. As you see, Jeff Sharp down there on the bottom side in that number 28. And Michael Vitale up there in the 213, and they battle it on down through the backstretch. Randy up there to the top side. I'm sorry, no, that's Isaac Salas in that number 5. Up there on the top side. Trying to get it worked on through there. And work down there in the corner, number 1 and 2. You got the 99 there of Roberts, which is actually a 66 there. Numbers need flipped around as he's got 66 on the cars instead of the 99. And then Rourke there off turn number 2. Down there, through, off, down the backstretch. Here comes Salas looking to the inside of Vitale. Down here off of 4. Salas down there gets a little bit of momentum. I think Salas may get credit with that lap. Unsure, though, as he's there still battling underneath Vitale. Drag racing down the backstretch, trying to get that slider down here in Aiken that spot away. Can't quite get it to come off the way he needs it to. Oh, man, is it close as Salas still down there along the bottom side wall, trying to bring it up there against Vitale. And, oh, no, they make contact. That's going to allow the 28 there of Jeff Sharp to try to get back into it as there they come off of turn number 4. Everybody bottles back up here. 2 laps to go. Here comes a 66 of Billy Roberts now down there on the inside. Jeff Sharp up there in second with Vitale up there in front. Salas trying to hang on here. 1 more lap to go. They come to the flag. Down in the corner number 1 they go yet with Billy Roberts down there on the inside. Salas trying to hang on there to 3rd. Now he's going to see if he can make a run here for 2nd as he dives down there. Can't make it a 2-fer as he gets down there beside Vitale. Trying to make a run, and he... Whoa, man. What a run there for 2nd and 3rd place. 0.01 as the gap distance between those 2 drivers. All right, here we go. Your results from heat number 1. Michael Vitale getting the win. Jeff Sharp there in 2nd. Isaac Salas there in 3rd. Sam Bachman there 4th. Billy Roberts there in 5th. Patrick Spangler there in 6th. All right, here we go. Now with your grid for heat number 2, if we can get it to come up the way we need it to. There we go, heat number 2 underway. Dan McLaren out there gets pole position. Randall Dixon 2nd. Watson rolls off 3rd here tonight in heat number 2. Mike Brewer in 4th. Harold Klump 5th. Clay Christopherson back there in 6th. So this is heat number 2 of the Big Block Modifieds. Hey, roll down off of here we go. You see here for the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Mods here tonight. This is each driver can choose whether to run a 358 or a Big Block. And here at Eldora, I figured almost everybody you see out on track is running the Big Block. Pace car rolls off. Another 5 drivers take the line. Green flags out. They're down and away. In the corner number 1 they go. The 8-8 there of Dan McLaren gets down there. He's going to slide it up just a little bit. Here comes Watson there in 2nd. Great run there for McLaren, and he gets out there to the lead. Up there against that outside wall. Sparks flies. He rolls through 3. Coming down a little bit to get through 4. Yeah, you see Brewer down there on the inside trying to make that inside dig. There to get underneath William Watson as he worked down the backstretch. Watson there in 2nd. Brewer there 3rd. Randall Dixon there 4th. Harold Klump back there 5th. Run on here off of the corner. Chris Starveson not in the race. You got the 23 there of Watson trying to chase down. Looks to the inside of McLaren. As you got Brewer down there way on the bottom side. We almost had a 3 wide there for our lead. Now they work down here through turn number 2 now. Watson there in 2nd. They got him up there on the top side. Sparks fly once again for the Venom Racing. Dan McLaren, 88. They run down there off the corner in the 2. Watson there in second for Full Throttle Motorsports. Working off into 3 and 4. Venom's Racing's Dan McLaren leading the way right now. And we got Full Throttle Motorsports' Mike Brewer down there on the bottom. And Morgan down there off the top side goes Watson. Down there on through the center, sliding that is Dan McLaren. Running that short slider, or long slider, whatever you want to call it. Might be called a long slider. As him running through turn 1 and 2. Down there through 3 and 4. Watson tries to keep it steady there off the corner. Brewer there at the bottom of them. And there's final lap here for heat number 2. Dan McLaren, Venom Racing's out there in front for the win here in heat number 2 as they come here off the corner. Watson tried to get there, couldn't quite get enough momentum though. As your unofficial results, McLaren out there as your winner, Watson there second, Brewer there third. All right, here is your Heat 2 results. Dan McLaren getting the win. Watson there second. Brewer finishes third. Randall Dixon there fourth. Harold Clump fifth. Clay Christopherson there in sixth. All right, there we go. Now we're heading off. We'll be back here after this short message with the main event with the Big Block Modifieds.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
right, we're back here with the race. Your grid brought to you by RSN Trackside. Here is your starting grid for the big blocks. Michael Vitale will roll off there in first. Dan McLaren there second. Jeff Sharp there will roll off third. William Watson fourth. Isaac Salas there in fifth. Mike Brewer there in sixth. Sam Bachman in seventh. Randall Dixon there eighth. Billy Robertson ninth. Harold Klump in 10th. Patrick Spangler there in 11th. Clay Christopherson there in 12th. That is your starting grid here for the big blocks. For the FTM Dirt Modified Series Thursday Night Thunder. Getting set underway. Green flag, down to the way. Michael Vitale out there as your control car in the lead. McLaren up there at the top side. Vitale trying to battle his way down there on the bottom side. McLaren up there is throwing sparks through turn 3 and 4. Vitale there in the middle of the racetrack. 3 wide there behind them. And we see Salas down there on the inside. Working down there. Brewer up there into the outside wall. Down there off the corner, as you see Salas down against the bottom. Vitale down through the middle of the track. Working there off, down through the start finish, or working down here through turn 3 and 4, back around here to the start finish line, 30 laps the distance. In the corner number 3 and 4, lap number 4 on the board. Now their work here off with Watson there in third, Salas there fourth. Working there off, as you see McLaren there in second. Up there off the start finish line, down in the corner number 1 and 2. As you see them working off, down through the backstretch, up there against that off top side is McLaren. As Vitale's there in second now. They battle side by side out there for that top spot. Down here off the backstretch, McLaren making a great run on the outside. Salas now up there in the outside wall. Watson there behind them, watching all of it take place. Vitale still battles hard down there on the inside lane. Can't quite get the momentum he needs to try to pull up in front. 24 laps to go. Off the corner. They work there off. They go in the corner, down the backstretch. Salas there in second, battling there with Vitale now. Working there off too. Off 4. Here they go. McLaren there trying to split them there in the middle. Salas up top. You got Watson now down there in the mix with getting around Vitale. Vitale back here in the 4th. Bachman back here in 5th. Jeff Sharp has fallen back here in the 6th. Watch them all try to battle their way up through the field. Vitale down here on the bottom side. Still trying to get that bottom to work as they work here off the corner. Up, off they go in the corner number 1 and 2. down the backstretch. Down that backstretch for Vitale. Watson there in second. Salas out in front as your leader, trying to go 2 for 2 in the big blocks tonight, or in the modifieds, as they work down through the backstretch in the corner number 3 and 4. Watson there second. Vitale in third. Bachman down there on the bottom side in fourth. 14 laps to go here in the big blocks, rolling down there off. I see the 88 down there on the inside of Dan McLaren. At 213 on Michael Vitale working down there on the bottom as well. Up, off they go in the corner number 3 and 4. They head with Salas as your leader. Watson there second. Vitale, you see him there in third. But Bachman, he's trying to make a run up there on the high side to get up there beside Vitale. McLaren has fallen way back down there on the inside now, back there to fifth. In jeopardy of going back there into sixth. As Brewer gets a great run down there in the corner, number 3 and 4. McLaren does the crossover coming out of the corner. 11 laps to go here for the race as they come down there out of corner number 2. There you see Salas out there in front. Watson in second, Vitale there third. Bachman in fourth, but Brewer in fifth. And we're going out here down in the corner number 1 and 2. Everybody's looking great as they work off. And I see them working as tight as they can here. These drivers, as you're watching McLaren there, Vitale up here in third, has a battle going on there as Bachman goes to the inside, tries to get underneath him, around there off of 2, down through the backstretch. Now here comes Vitale back underneath, and now they head there in the corner number 3 and 4. Back out onto the front stretch, Vitale has the lead going through that corner. And we're there off turn number 1 and 2. Down that back straightaway. Salas up there in front. Watson looking to the inside. Going to try to bring it. He will lead that lap of 5 to go down there on the middle. Slides it up in front of Salas. Now Salas got to bring it crossover. Back again down there on the bottom side. He's going to try to slide it in. He will do so. Sliding on down there around the middle of 3 and 4. Getting that momentum, he recaptures the lead for that lap. And here comes Watson once again. Here comes the crossover from Salas once again down there through 3 and 4. He's going to carry that momentum down on into the corner. Watson's going to try to back up the corner and try to crossover coming off. Not quite there, but he gets the crossover coming down here into corner number 1 and 2. Salas going to back up a little bit, get the crossover coming down the backstretch. 3 laps to go here as they battle out for that lead, coming down here out of turn number 3 and 4. Watson up there against the outside wall. Now back there in the corner number 1 and 2. 2 laps to go. Salas backs up the entry, getting the crossover once again down the backstretch. Hammers it down here into 3 and 4. Brings it down. Going to take that bottom away from Watson. Slides it up there into the middle of the track. As they come down here, final lap for Salas as he's up there against the outside wall. Going to try to pull away a little bit. Got to protect that bottom, though, coming here into turn number 3 and 4, as Watson might try to take it. And he does so. Protects the bottom, coming there off 3 and 4. Salas gets win number 2 of the night in that number 5 machine. All right, they're coming off. Salas gets win number 2. Watson there in second. Bachman there in third. Venom Racing really putting on a show with Salas tonight. Now, once again, that slider line proves to be the maker there in turn 3 and 4 to take away the chances of the crossover coming down the front stretch. So here's your official results. Salas out there getting the win. Watson there second. Sam Bachman third. Michael Vitale fourth. Mike Brewer fifth. Dan McLaren sixth. Jeff Sharp there seventh. Billy Roberts there in eighth. Harold Klump there ninth. Randall Dixon there 10th. Patrick Spangler and Clay Christopherson did not run the race. All right, here we go as we'll get with the winners here. All right, so that was last 5 laps. What a battle it was. As we see here, Sam Bachman getting third place here in the big blocks. So here we go. Sam Bachman. Good evening there, Sam. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Can't complain with another podium.
Well, you got third here in the big blocks. And, man, it's tough out there tonight at Eldora.
Yeah, it's seems like a pretty one lane up top, and then throwing a slider at 3 and 4, to be honest. And if you weren't there, you're gonna get passed, and so it's kind of hard a little challenging to pass people. You just pretty much had to wait for them to make a little mistake and take advantage.
Well, you had a front row seat there to them lead changes going on between Salas and Watson. Were you hoping that they were going to slow each other down a little bit?
Yeah. A couple laps I was catching them, and then kind of started to fall off a little bit. So I was just kind of praying for a caution towards that and see if I could have gave it a run for it.
Well, you did a great job running there third tonight. Got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting third place in the big blocks?
Yeah, the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard on the dig. Dean over at Super Dark Car Series, Shaggy TV, Vertex Graphics, Extra Installation. Obviously, you Flieger for putting the broadcast on for us tonight, and Coast to Coast.
All right, well, congrats again, getting third place here. Are you coming out for the Pro Late Models?
I might.
Alrighty, well, if you do, good luck. If not, you have yourself a great night there, Sam.
Thank you as well.
All right, that was Sam Bachman, our third place. Now we'll get with our second place finisher, William Watson. Good evening there, William. How's it going?
Good, about you, bub?
It's going really well. Man, oh man, you guys really put on a show there those last 5 laps.
Yeah, I'm making work for it. I thought I could have had him. I kept helping that back wall back there, so it's a good run. Had fun.
Yeah, definitely a great run you had, and just unfortunately, he figured out what to do there through 3 and 4 to kind of shut you down through 3 and 4.
Yeah, he ran a great race right there. Had to do what he had to do to cut my momentum going because I had it going. Just couldn't keep it up. If I could have thought about it, not through the slider in 1 and 2, followed him, and then through the slider in 3 and 4, got around him on the high side coming out of there. It might have helped me out, but like I said, I kept tapping that wall, so I kept losing ground anyway.
Well, you definitely put on quite a show between the slide drops and crossovers. I mean, it was fantastic to watch. Great racing here. I mean, a lot of times Eldora does provide just that top lane of racing, but whenever you can get a couple drivers like yourself and Salas going at it out there at the front, man, it is something to watch.
Yeah, it's always fun, especially when 2 drivers know how each other race and know how to drive the car and keep it off each other. I mean, that's the most fun you can have on this sim is when two or three drivers. If you get 3 or 4 in there, that's crazy. But
it is, but I mean that's a tall order to try to find 3 to 4 drivers that all can do it.
Hey, we've done it.
Oh, I know you guys have. I know you guys have. I'm just saying, it's not something you always see, but it is a sight to see whenever it happens.
Oh, yeah.
So, but congrats getting second. You got sponsors. Shout out to anybody you want to thank.
Yeah, teammates at FGM, Swans Beef Shop, Stupid Performance, Scriptex.com, Dean Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the Wraps, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast. You've putting it on. I'm going to see if I can't come out here and keep Isaac from getting his three-peat that I still haven't got, so if he comes back to the late model.
Yeah, as we've commented before, those three-peats, they're hard to get.
Yeah.
So, congrats, though, tonight, getting second, and we'll see how it goes in the in the Pro Late Models.
I appreciate it.
All righty, good luck there, Watson.
Thank you.
All right, that was our second place finisher, Watson, and now we'll get with Isaac Salas, our winner. Good evening there, Salas. How's it going?
Yeah, buddy, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Man, they're making you work for these finishes.
Yeah, I know. I'm out of breath. What do you mean?
And you got what? Pro Late Models coming up next. You going to try for that three-peat?
Might as well. Might as well. Dude, my right shoulder's sore from tonight. It's terrible.
I mean, you're really having to pay attention all around you. I mean, you're out there crisscrossing all over the place.
Yeah, man, it's fun. I was really making that bottom in 3 and 4 work, and I ended up smoking the wall and let William right back in the race probably, and yeah, from there it was basically Slider City.
Well, you did a great job. Then you found that slider to hold him off as well through there, through turn 4, and was able to hold the lead. So congrats getting another win here tonight. Can't wait to see what you got coming up in the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. We'll see what happens, man. I'm excited. It was a fun race in 358s and in big blocks now, so we'll see what we can do here.
All right, well, you got sponsors. Shout out to anybody you want to thank for getting the victory here in the big blocks.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Venom Racing, Dean Super Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs for that beautiful scheme right there. Artisan Trackside, Mission 22, Thomas Struckman for my Gramps, Shaggy TV, Reams Home Inspections, Coast to Coast. Thank you for the broadcast, sir. I know we've been having our difficulties tonight, so I'm glad you're hanging in there with me. And yeah, other than that, Mom, Dad, Grants for watching, Kelsey for watching. I think that's about it.
All right, well, congrats there, Isaac, and we'll get ready for the Pro Late Models coming up here, brought to you by the Regal Wraps and Design. So good luck in them.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that was Isaac Salas, our winner there in the big block division from Full Throttle Motorsports. Definitely appreciate them coming on board to help sponsor, as well as Regal Wraps and Design coming on to sponsor the Pro Late Models, as you'll see coming up here in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. It's on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
All right, small field here tonight for the Pro Late models. Now we get set to rock and roll here, as you see there. We only have 3 drivers. Mike Wheeler, Isaac Sellers, and William Watson. Not sure where the rest of everybody is. We got just a little bit of time here. I'm not sure how quickly they're going to move through the session here. Maybe Mike Wheeler is a little quicker than what Isaac Salas is. We see Wheeler there, out there. William Watson heading back out onto the speedway. They work down there through the corner. Rumble's going to come in and try to run it here tonight. I see his pit box there. He hasn't completely loaded in yet. Coming out here to run for Flinger Farm Motorsports. That's interesting. Hopefully that wasn't screwed up all night. All right, DB Rumble out there in at 00. Maybe we will get your car fixed here in just a moment, unless that is the color of your car at the moment. Currently running a 15.835 out there. Got to try to pick up the pace a little bit. They come there off the corner, looking pretty good. A 15.443 for Rumble so far. Oh, here we go. As qualifying takes place, Wida with a 14.861, Watson with a 15.111. Qualifying right now, as you see the 66 out there. All right, here we go. Getting ready here as this wraps up. All right, here we go. And work off the corner. We got him green flag out here for the 6 laps. Down here through turn number 1 and 2. Try to reload the paints here as I'm not sure what's going on there with DBs. It looks like that might be what his looks like tonight. Work down there off turn number 4. Down through it, or I'm sorry, down there off of 2, down there through the backstretch, in through 3 and 4. As we see Wida out there in front. Here comes Salas. Up, off. Work it out here in at 3 and 4 they go. And work out there off the bottom. Yeah, we got Wida out front. Runkle and Watson getting together. Runkle ends up down there in the pits. 2 to go here in the heats. So not sure what happened there. Come there down the backstretch. we see him coming there off. Great job there. Your heat results coming in. Gonna be Mike Weeda there out front. Isaac Salas there second. William Watson there in third. Davey Rungle in fourth. That is how they're going to finish out here tonight. We'll be back after this short message.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
Back here live at the racetrack, you'll see DB Rungle out there running. See him here finishing warm-ups. Here we go, down here for the grid of your start tonight. Mike Weeda, Isaac Salas, William Watson, and D.B. Runkle. That'll be your top four starting here tonight. Here we go, down there, through on the front. I see them there, running down through off the corners. Yeah. Yeah, DB, yeah, apparently your 00 just does not want to come in tonight. I see it coming there off the corner. Side by side, Weta and Salas. Salas up there on the top side. Green flag is out. They're down and away. Here in the corner, number 1 they go. On the bottom side, Mike Weta. Here comes Watson down there as well. Salas had to check up just momentarily as they battle there off the top. Look out. Here comes Watson down through the front stretch in the corner number 1 and 2. We got them for 30 laps tonight for the distance. We're on lap number 2 as they come working out of the corner. Weta down there on the bottom, or working there on the top. Runkle's trying to find out where his best line would be to run. He's back there, just getting a feel for the car after being out of iRacing for a little while. So he's got to get a feel for running the dirt once again. Mike Weta there out there in front. Watson there second. Salas there in third. They come storming down there. There you see Watson running in second, and they roll off the corner. Weta out front, 26 laps to go. Weta, as we said, as your leader here in this 4-car battle. Watson in second, Salas their third, Runkle in fourth. As they battle it out over top here down the back straightaway. In the corner number 1 and 2, Salas there in third. Salas would love to put a topper on tonight with a win here, but he's got to battle these two drivers out in front of him who are tough competitors here in the Pro Late Models. They roll there out of 2. You see Watson there in second. Weta out there in front of. They bounce it on through turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Salas now down there to the inside. Out there, down there on the bottom. As they go 3 wide. Salas on the bottom. Weta in the middle. Watson up top. Working there through turn 3 and 4. Salas backed off a little bit. Now he's going to make a charge once again. Down there through. Now into the middle of the racetrack. Watson and Weta battling it out. Weta tried to get up there. Could not quite get there. 22 laps to go. Working there off turn 3 and 4. Back around here onto the front stretch. Down there onto the bottom. Salas disappears for a moment. Down there below, Weta now as they battle it on down through here off the corner. In through turn 3 and 4. These three really putting on a show, even though there is only 4 drivers. That's Runkle back here in a 4. Just trying to keep pace here a little bit. And Mike Weta, Watson, and Salas all battle it out here for your top spot. Watson as your leader. Runkle there in fourth. Salas third. Weta there second. I think Weta's in that 066 trying to get himself around down there on the bottom side. And work there off the corner. And through 3 and 4. Or heading into 3 and 4. Hey, driver, hang on to it. Working there off. Up there at the top side, that is Weta, but he's got Salas coming there behind him. Well, one for Roll Throttle Motorsports, one for Hammer Down Racing, and one for Venom Racing as they work there off the corner. Sliding up, Salas gets second over top of Weta. Now he tries to set his sights on Watson, but he's still got to worry about Weta there for a little bit. They work down the back stretch. In through 3 and 4. Up there on the top side. Through 1 and 2 goes Watson. Salas there in second. Weta there in third. There he's in. Runkle for Full Throttle Motorsports is still trying to gain a little bit here as they work there off the corner. He's got to find a way to put the hammer down. We got 14 laps to go. Watson going down the backstretch into corner number 3. Salas there in second. Weta there third. Off the corner. Up there to the top side is Watson with Salas there in second. Weta in third. Runkle fourth. There we see him roll down there off the bottom. As Watson wants to hang on and not give Salas that lead, as he doesn't want a three-peat here tonight. Even though it is a small car count, it is not coming easy for Salas. Salas dives it on in there, tries to gain there, and he does a little bit. Gets up into the back bumper of Watson as they work there through 1 and 2. Through the top. Now look out. Salas might drop down there to the bottom once again. Here he does. Down there, he's going to try to pick up a little bit. As now he's got the nose underneath him. Had to try to slide it in there, and he's back down there in the bottom through 1 and 2 once again. Can't quite get that pass made as Watson just has so much momentum on that top side. Trying to get a pass done is just so difficult here in these Pro Late models. Now you're seeing Salas struggle. He can get up there and get to the bumper of Watson, but can't get the momentum to pass. Here you see him get another dive down there through 3 and 4. See if he rides it through 1 and 2. He will. Down here through the backstretch. Salas falls back a little bit. Now he's going to try to gain a little bit. There in through the corner. Up, and up there towards the top side. He's trying to gain a little bit as he can. And he back up there against that outside wall. Sparks fly. Coming down there out of 2. Down that back straightaway. In through 3 and 4. Hey, Watson, they're trying just to hang on. He knows Salas is trying everything he can back here to try to close that gap down that back straightaway. Weeda in the third. There you see Salas once again coming up. Going to get there to the back bumper, but the momentum just carries Watson off the corner. And him coming there off corner number 2 down that back straightaway once again. 5 laps to go. You see, there they go, diving in there. Up towards, sliding up. And Watson hangs on to it. Kind of taking a page right out of Salas's book here for Eldora. As this track has kind of formed up about the same way as they did for the big blocks here and the 358s prior to this. With that short slider, long slider, or slider line for that matter, coming through 3 and 4. It seems to be a ticket as Salas gets into the outside wall. That's going to put a little bit of gap between Watson and him. As they work there through turn 3 and 4 once again. Salas has to almost settle for second here as they come through 2 to go. Sparks fly off at 23 as he's up there against that outside wall. Down through the backstretch. Down there, through that slide line. Through 3 and 4. Back off on the corner number 1 they go. As him up there into that wall once again goes Watson. Salas is there in second as they work here. Final lap off turn 3 and 4 for the race this evening. Up, off, there they go. Down here, down the front straightaway. Watson getting the win here tonight in the Pro Late model. Salas there in second. Weeda third. DB Runkle in fourth. Now we'll get with our winners momentarily. I see Weeda coming around. And there they are on the front straightaway. Your top 3. Oh, here we are. We'll get with our drivers. I know there's only 3 of them. We'll see if they come into the chat here. Oh, Mike Weeda, third place. Good evening there, Mike Weeda. How's it going?
It's going okay, man. How are you?
Doing okay, man. It was exciting, even though there was only a small group of you.
Yeah, it was alright. I thought there'd be more, but I guess not bad. I get my first interview tonight, I guess. So I guess it works.
Yeah, I understand Speed Weeks might have killed it tonight.
Yeah, I guess it would. But hey, I had fun.
No, that's all that matters. Coming out and having fun. And it should help you out in points, hopefully.
Well, I guess so. I'm just not really looking at the point side of it. I just come out here to learn some dirt with these boys. I'm not much of a dirt driver, so I'm out here just learning.
And what better way to learn with a smaller field, right?
Well, it's great to get I thought I've been doing pretty good in the 358s lately, but yeah, even though these pro lates, I like driving them, so.
Well, congrats getting third. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody want to thank, besides the drivers not showing up?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my team, Hammer Down Racing, and my teammates, Brian, Kurt, Joe, and BT. Dirt Track Bank, got your 6, On Edge Racing, and Peacock Performance Chassis for the sweet wrap.
Alrighty, well, congrats there. Getting third once again there. Sorry there wasn't more of a car count to make it more interesting, but I mean, as long as you had fun, that's the biggest thing that counts.
That's exactly it. You have a good night.
You too there, Mike. Alright, now we'll get with Isaac Salas. Isaac, man, oh man. Couldn't quite hold off Watson another time.
I know. He gave me all I could handle the last race, so I guess I had to give him this one.
I mean, you still tried. I mean, you got there to his bumper, got there underneath, and just unfortunate that here in the Pro Late Model, he had that run on the top side.
Yeah, man, he's fast. He's fast in these late models, and there was just that grip was starting to go away there on the bottom of 3 and 4, and you know, it was fun though. I enjoyed it. I hope we put on a decent show for only being a few of us there, but it was sure fun inside the car.
Oh, it definitely was fun to watch, even though it was a small field. You guys definitely did put on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. We tried. We all talked about it, trying to put on a good one for you.
Well, you did, and sparks flew through the turns, and, I mean, dirt was flying. It was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. That was a lot of fun. You guys are good.
Alrighty, well, who you got sponsor shots? Anybody you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just like a broken record over here, but, you know, Venom Racing, Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs, man, I love that orange and blue scheme. I really do. Arson Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, Coast to Coast. Thank you for sticking through it tonight with me. We had ourselves a lot of fun in the background, huh? But yeah, other than that, thanks to you know, my mom, dad, Gramps for watching. I know they're watching. Thanks to Miss Kelsey out in the living room for letting me do the thing I enjoy. And other than that, congrats to Mr. William.
Alrighty, well, congrats there for you for getting second place here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Hopefully, we'll see you next week.
Yep, have a good one.
You too. That was Alex Salas, our second place. Now we'll get with Watson, our winner here. Good evening there, Watson. How's it going?
Good, buddy.
It's going pretty good. You were able to hold Salas off here. He didn't get his three-peat.
Yeah. I had to come in here and I'm points lead right now. Big box and late model, so I was coming here just to keep my points up there, and then they might as well keep him from getting that three-peat because I want one too. I want to beat him to it.
Yeah, they're not easy, are they?
No, not at all.
Well, you did a great job getting that 23 to victory lane here in the Pro Late Models. You got sponsors, shout-outs. Who you want to thank there for getting the victory here in the Pro Lates?
Yeah, as always, teammates at FDM, Lawn Speed, shout-out to Super Performance, DirtPacks.com, Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the wrap, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you for broadcasting, but.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, getting that win, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
Alrighty, congrats once again for getting the victory here in the Pro Late Models.
Thank you.
Alright, that was William Watson, our winner here in the Pro Late Models. We get ready to send it off here. Thank you all for watching tonight at Coast to Coast Racing Network, and those that might have tuned in to Flicker Farm TV. We had a great night. A little slow here in the Pro Late Models, but hopefully next week those numbers will jump up again. Brungle, hopefully you and I can get together on the track and get some more laps in together and try to get us both some speed out there. So everybody, thanks for watching. We'll have a great, great night.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.